Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and walk you through the project that's due. It's provided for you in Module 5, as you can see. However, it's not due until the very end of the term. It's due on Friday of Module 8. So it's worth 160 points. Let's go ahead and look at the requirements. Looking in the module, we'll first open up the QuickBooks project, but you notice there's also supplemental material that you will need. I'm going to go ahead and open up the project. As you can see, it will be graded based on a rubric that's provided by the school. There's 3 parts. You also notice that there's the instructions here, so we'll start with that. The assignment has 3 parts, so you submit 3 files. However, we'll start out with the QuickBooks part of it. The QuickBooks part means that we start with the case that's provided for us in Appendix 2. It's the same case 1 that we've been working the entire term, but the appendix has a continuation of it. So let's look at that. So if you go down to Appendix 2, we're going to be continuing case 1. And what you'll notice is that the assignment is basically to do February. So in the past we did January of 18. Now we're doing February 18. And you're pretty much going through and doing all the stuff that you did before. So there's nothing new, just the same kind of transactions you did before. But they're covered in each of the chapters, and they're kind of nice, and they give you which chapter this transaction comes from. You can see there's quite a few of them. Covers several pages, so it will take you a while. This will probably take you the most time. You'll need to finish Chapter 10's assignment first before you can go ahead to complete this entire thing. Here we have the payroll information, so you can see it covers everything. At the end of the assignment, you'll be asked to print out a profit and loss statement, as well as 10 statements altogether. So what you want to do is you want to put these 10 statements, print them out in Excel, but provide them in one workbook. I've showed you how to do that before, but let me show you real quick. Let's say I want to have worksheet 1 and worksheet 2 in the same workbook. So right now I have worksheet 1 by itself, and I have worksheet 2 by itself. So if I want to put worksheet 2 with worksheet 1, I just go down to the bottom, I right click on it, and I select move or copy, change this to workbook 1. I want to move it to the end, create a copy, I click OK. Now I'm in workbook 1, and you can see that worksheet 1 and worksheet 2 are in the same one. So all the reports that are required, you can just move them all to one workbook and have one file to submit for that part. It'll make things a lot easier on me, and I think in a sense it'll make it a lot easier on you, because it'll help keep things organized. Now, just so you know, most interested that you're going to be able to complete everything. Whether or not you get to the solution, the suggested solution, is not as important as if you complete it. So just do your best to accomplish that. As far as the numbers are concerned for the Appendix 2 Case 1, I'm only going to look at the profit and loss and balance sheet. If you get all those correct, you're going to get the rest of it correct anyhow. If you scroll down, I'll give you a check figure here. The net income, if everything is correct, would be $9,683.54. However, if you don't get that for February, I completely understand that this is pretty challenging, and I will not take off full credit. I'm only going to take off some points. You're not going to get a bad grade for not getting the net income perfect, but you will get hurt more for not having some of the reports not attached. That's where you'll lose more points. I guess really all you need to know is the total for the total assets. It would be 170,091.54 because that's what your liabilities and equity should equal for the balance sheet to work. And that would be so this would be for case 1 for appendix 2. Again, put your balance sheet, income statement, transaction detail, and all the other reports together. And remember, for the budget, this is the budget. Remember, for the budget, you're not going to be able to do 2018. You have to do 2019 because that's the way the software doesn't let you go back 2 years, which is fine. As long as your budget column is correct, your actuals will say 0 because you haven't done anything in 2019. So just make sure, just like for chapter 8, where I said to just make sure your budget column is correct, that's fine. So getting back to the assignment, you have the completed reports, really are part 2 for QuickBooks. You also have to do an engagement letter and a compilation report. So the engagement letter is the accountant's way of saying, this is the scope of the project, this is the expectations, this is everything we understand that you want from us, and this is everything we understand that we're going to provide for you. The compilation report just says, we've done everything, this is what you asked us for, this is what we understood that you wanted, and this is what we are providing for you. These are very important in the real world because for various reasons, but that makes sure that there's no misunderstandings. To do these, you're supposed to use SARS 21, section 80. I provided this for you in the project supplemental material. You'll have access to SARS 21, and then also there's a introduction to SARS video that you should watch in addition to this video, obviously. When you go to that link, it'll take you to a page like this, and you'll notice this video that was done by the ASCPA. And it's pretty useful to understand what SARS is all about. You might want to look at that before you start working on the reports. I've also provided you with samples, right? A sample letter for the preparation letter and for the compilation engagement. So when you look at the actual SARS, pretty extensive, it's about 36 pages. However, you need to get an overview of what's expected in this. So you might want to go through this quickly. Then look at the samples I provided. Let's look at those. Here's a sample of the preparation letter. Now I want you to do more than just change the names and dates. You need to make sure that everything that's required of the SARS PDF file that I provided is provided in this letter. Make sure that's done, and then you can submit this as your preparation letter once it's completed. Now the compilation engagement letter is again completed for you as a sample. You need to do more than just change the name and the date. You need to also again make sure that the requirements in this letter meet the requirements of SARS 21, but also notice this was written for the tax basis, so you need to make sure that you change the wording so that it's prepared in accordance with GAAP, not with tax basis. That's very important. If it's done with tax basis, you'll lose points. When I use the rubric for the grading, the first part is based on QuickBooks, 80 points, and the second two are based on the 2 letters, so they're worth 80 points total. So QuickBooks and the letters are 50-50 on the total of 160 points. Don't forget, this is due Friday of Module 8, worth 160 points, so it shouldn't be late. Have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next module.